All right, the first day of Bears training camp practice is officially in the books. And there's a lot to unpack from what went down on the field, right out of the gate. The biggest headline, or rather, the absence of one, was Luther Burden III not being on the field. That's definitely not the kind of news fans wanted to hear, especially after the wide receiver was the team's second-round pick. Falling out of the first round, he had already missed all of the organized team activities, or OTA letters, and the mandatory mini-camp earlier this offseason, so naturally, the expectation was that he would be fully healthy and ready to make an impact as training camp kicked off. Adding to that, Luther even put out a workout video on his own YouTube channel not long ago, showing him grinding at the practice facility leading up to camp. All signs pointed to him being game-ready. However, today, there was no sign of him on the field, and the coaches didn't really comment on his status. Ben Johnson, the head coach, didn't provide any updates either. He tends to keep his cards close and often waits until the next day or so to answer those questions. So, as of now, it remains a bit of a mystery. No one officially announced that Burden wouldn't be ready, and maybe no one asked the right question yet either. But from where I'm standing, this absence is definitely a story worth following closely throughout the rest of camp. It's not an emergency or a reason to panic for Bears fans, but it's enough to raise some eyebrows and start asking questions. We have to remember that the team had about 6 weeks off since those OTA letters and mini-camp, which means players had time to recover from minor issues. The injury reported was a soft tissue injury. Generally, those heal pretty quickly unless it's something more serious than initially thought. So the big question now is there something more severe going on with Luther Burden? Is this absence signaling a bigger problem we don't know about yet? Right now, it's all speculation. But I think it's important to not dismiss it outright until we hear otherwise. It's fair to say this is a story that deserves some attention. On the flip side, this situation opens the door a bit for other players, especially at the slot receiver position. Zacchaeus, for example, looks like he might have a real shot at stepping into a starting role early this season. If Burden remains sidelined or limited, of course, this is just day one of training camp, so things can change quickly. Burden could be out there tomorrow, running routes and making plays, and suddenly this whole thing becomes a non-story. If that happens, I'll be the first to admit it. But as of now, it's a notable storyline worth watching closely. Switching gears to another wide receiver who's been turning heads lately, JP Richardson. The rookie who went undrafted, but has really stood out during the OTA letters and now in training camp. This guy is making plays that catch your eye. For example, during the May and June workouts, he hauled in a one-handed catch deep down the sideline while tightly covered by a defensive back, which is impressive no matter what level you're playing at. And on the final play of the first day of camp, Richardson made a smooth catch right across the middle, showing great hands and awareness. Even the coaching staff acknowledged his impact, highlighting that he could be a real dark horse candidate to make the roster. As someone who's watched every game he's played over the last couple of years, and being a TCU alum myself, I can tell you he's the prototype for a slot receiver. He might be a bit undersized and not the fastest guy on the field, but what he lacks in size and speed, he more than makes up for in skill. He runs crisp routes, has excellent hands, and has an innate ability to find the soft spots in the coverage. Plus, he brings value on special teams as a punt returner, which only boosts his chances of making the final roster. There's no way he would take a spot away from someone like Luther Burden if Burden is healthy and performing, but if Burden continues to struggle with injuries or availability, someone like Richardson could very well push for meaningful playing time in the regular season. Coach Ben Johnson has been pretty clear that no jobs will be handed out just because of draft status or reputation. It's about who shows up and who performs, and right now, Richardson is making a strong case that he belongs. This adds another layer of intrigue to the Bears' wide receiver room. Heading into the season, we've got the established veterans, the high draft picks like Burden, and then young guys like Richardson who are making it very clear they want to roll and aren't afraid to fight for it. On the offensive side, the mood on day one was definitely intense. Ben Johnson showed he means business. Reports from the field say that he was visibly and vocally frustrated during 7 separate drills with quarterback Caleb Williams and the first-team offense. At one point, he actually stopped the drill twice because the offense wasn't lining up fast enough, and eventually he pulled the entire offense off the field. This kind of fiery approach has been a consistent theme with Johnson ever since he took over as head coach. He's not here to accept mediocrity or sloppy details. You can imagine some might say, hey, it's the first day of camp. There's going to be some rust. That's normal, and sure, a bit of rust is expected, but Johnson is holding the team accountable for the basics. Things like being lined up correctly and moving with urgency in the huddle. If you're not doing those things right, you're risking losing your spot to someone who will. It's an old-school approach, but it's exactly what the Bears need. Last year, the offense struggled with details and discipline, which trickled into poor performances during the season. Reports surfaced that training camp lapses and sloppy execution early on snowballed into bigger problems later. Johnson is clearly not willing to let that happen again. This focus on accountability is actually encouraging. It tells you that the coaching staff is serious about raising the bar and not wasting reps. The days of going through the motions or tolerating half-hearted effort are over. Johnson's work boots mentality is already setting the tone. The Bears aren't here to mess around. They want to build a team that competes every snap, every drill, every day. Meanwhile, on the defensive side of things, there were also some positive notes, particularly round linebacker Edmonds. He has been a player many have hoped would take a step forward this year. Under the new defensive scheme led by Dennis Allen, during the Audis, Edmonds showed flashes, including a couple of interceptions that caught attention, and on the very first play of team drills today, Edmonds made a big splash by intercepting Caleb Williams, which earned praise from Allen himself. The coach said he expects Edmonds to be an exceptional playmaker for the defense. That's a big deal considering Edmonds' past inconsistency, especially given the high price tag on his contract. He's making $18 million a year, and so far, his production has not matched that level. If Edmonds can just start to live up to that contract, or at least get close to it, that would be huge for this defense. He and TJ Edwards could form one of the better linebacker duos in the league. Edwards has been reliable and steady, but Edmonds has had some up and down moments. With Ruben Hipwitz also in the mix, the linebacker room is shaping up to be competitive. But it's clear that Edmonds and Edwards are expected to be on the field for close to every snap in the nickel-based defense this year, so a strong performance from Edmonds would signal a significant upgrade for Chicago's defense heading into the season. The battle for the left tackle spot also grabbed some attention today. The competition is heating up between Braxton Jones, rookie Aussie Trapillo, and Karen Amaji. Jones took reps with the first team early on but showed some rust, including a false start on the very first snap. Understandable, considering he's been out for 4 to 6 months recovering when the team moved into team drills. It was Trapillo who got the first crack with the starters. That caught some eyes because during the Audis, Amaji usually got the first reps with the first team before Trapillo came in second. So this switch might suggest that Trapillo has at least slightly overtaken Amaji on the depth chart, but it's early days. The coaching staff is expected to manage reps carefully, especially for players coming back from injury. Pads still haven't gone on yet. So the big question is how ready Jones will be once things ramp up in full contact. This three-way competition is one to keep close tabs on because whoever wins that job will be protecting the quarterback's blind side all season. Other players absent from practice included Zay Frazier, another rookie who could be sidelined for a bit, which likely contributed to the team signing Trey Flowers for added depth. With Jalen Johnson out for a few weeks and Frazier also missing, the Bears' rookie class is dealing with some early adversity. Meanwhile, Carlson Loveland was back on the field, though not at full speed during team drills, indicating he's still working his way back from injury. That's encouraging to see, as he was a key contributor last year. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling around the Chicago Bears training camp as tensions reportedly boil over between head coach Ben Johnson and veteran running back DeAndre Swift. Sources close to the situation have hinted that the relationship between the two has taken a dramatic downturn, culminating in Johnson allegedly stating, "He's not playing for me anymore," while no official confirmation has come from the team. The phrase has been echoed enough behind closed doors to raise eyebrows within league circles. The Bears, who were counting on Swift to bring experience and explosiveness to their backfield, may now be reconsidering their plans. Swift, who joined Chicago this offseason with high expectations, has yet to fully settle into Johnson's offensive scheme. Insiders suggest that philosophical differences, possibly regarding workload pass protection responsibilities, or off-field commitment may have contributed to the coach's stark declaration. Whatever the reason, it's clear that all is not well between the two. Johnson, known for his no-nonsense approach and direct communication style, isn't one to mince words. If the alleged comment is to be believed, it may indicate an irreparable rift or at least a major hurdle in what was supposed to be a productive partnership. Swift, meanwhile, has kept a low profile in recent days, neither confirming nor denying the rumors, which only adds fuel to the speculation. Teams across the league are already keeping a close eye on the situation. If the Bears do decide to move on from Swift, there would likely be no shortage of suitors for the talented back. Whether this is just a momentary clash or the beginning of a major shift in Chicago's roster remains to be seen, but the tension is palpable. In the NFL, where relationships can shift the direction of entire seasons, this could be more than just a training camp dust-up. For now, the football world waits for the next move from the Bears, from Swift, or perhaps from a team looking to capitalize on the unrest. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.